This is part 4 of a cheap flight adventure to Benidorm, and here is a lizard. So then, let's start this video off with the Twin Towers of Benidorm. This building is really posh and awesome, and the lifts are Otis lifts.
This is Tracy's one. Tracy, that's the next thingy. More copyright. That's great.
Let's get on top him.
Look how big that chassis is. It's a little lift, big chassis.
It fits it all. So you can't get through that gap. Oh, light turns on. Beautiful. Yeah, Ben, look. See at the top? It's got the same gap.
And this building is really unusual. It's two buildings with bridges between the two parts of the building. That is so weird. Let's take a look at these bridges. Welcome to the Twin Towers of Benidorm. Ooh, that is such a long way down. How many metres high? About, I don't know, 70, 80 metres high. It's so weird. I've got this. This Twin Towers is so weird, but so good.
The Twin Towers of Benidorm. They're so weird, this place.
So then, let's go looking around this building. And outside of this building, there is a swimming pool. And the swimming pool looked really nice and it looked clean, but it was switched off. Why is this swimming pool switched off? We decided to not risk going in it. And it's just disappointing because this looked like a really nice pool. So we come looking around this building and find an abandoned spa. Why is the spa abandoned? That is so weird.
Oh my god. We need to turn this on, John. We need to turn this on.
And along we go to the next building. This building's quite tall, but the lift is complete shit.
No, you're not a button. It's a legend.
Let's get on top it.
Oh, I see. What the hell? You just broke safety. What did you hear something? Oh, this is fun. Up there. You know when it gets to one up flowers and just stops.
So then, let's go looking around Benidorm. And I find a crane! Yes! Let's go crane climbing! So then, the cranes in Spain are actually ground controlled. They don't actually have a crane come up the top. And these cranes are actually fairly small. They're not like proper big cranes that actually raise themselves up. These are just like little cranes where you actually need to get a bigger crane on wheels to actually put up the crane. So they're a bit of a pathetic crane really. And the only time anyone ever climbs a crane is when they put up and take down the crane. So these ladders are not made to as high a safety standard as in England, since they're not used on a regular basis. And there's a really nice view up here. So, along the centre of Benidorm, quite touristy. And let's take a look at this bit of the beach with all the palm trees around it. Doesn't that just look really, really nice? And along I go to the Golden Arch. Does this building look completely awesome? It is the tallest building in Benidorm and it just looks amazing. But this building is abandoned. It was never finished being built. They run out of money. Now is this so weird? Yes, this very nice and very unusual looking building is completely abandoned. But sadly I wasn't able to get in it. And I want to go to some really nice looking residential buildings near the Golden Arch. And these buildings look completely awesome. Just take a look at this. Doesn't this look posh and epic? But the lifts are horrible DMG lifts. What horrible shit lift to go up to 27 floors. And it's really slow. So then, night time in Benidorm. So here's the town centre of Benidorm, which is not very interesting. What makes Benidorm interesting is the towers. The centre, although it's interesting, is no different to any other place. And I long to go to the next hotel, which is an old person's hotel. Let's go in the glass lift here. And let's get on top it.
I shouldn't have done that, that's a fail. That's a fail, I should not have done that.
And along to the next hotel. This hotel looks really nice. And the lift is just in the Rona.
I don't know. Prohibited. Let's go. Up and go.
And along to the next hotel. This is another old person's hotel. And several people were very suspicious of us going into this hotel since we obviously didn't have a room here as we were far too young. The lifts here are some Oatses.
Going down. Doors closing. No, we've got people onto us.
And as if we hadn't already drawn enough suspicion, let's go on to the roof. And just to make it even more risky, Luke sees some stuff through a window in a room of this building, so he calls out to them. And we had to make a run for it.
Oh, you're on your roof! He's walking. He's walking. Walking down the stairs. It's not a
And along to the next hotel. This hotel's quite tall, but the lifts are completely inadequate for this building.
"25 floors, painfully slow."
So then, let's go looking around Benidorm at night, and there's some residential blocks at the north of Benidorm. These buildings look really nice, and on the outside of one of these buildings, there is a completely awesome looking swimming pool with RGB lighting. But the lifts in this tall building are just Aronas, and only go 1.6 meters a second. Let's get on top then. And along to a completely horrid lift.
Subiendo. Planta 0.
Floor 0.
And let's take a walk along the seafront at Benidorm at night time. And along to the next lift, which is an Otis 2000E. So let's go walking around Benidorm at night. And along to another old person's hotel, which has a lift going up the outside of it. And along to the next hotel, which has some really nice Schindler 3300s with destination dispatch.
Ascensor C. Ascensor C. Ascensor B. Ascensor B. Ascensor B. Ascensor C. Ascensor A. Ascensor A. Ascensor A.
Ascensor A. We're going to R and 0. Floor R.
And now to the service lifts. and along we go to our car park.
Oh, that looks boring.
We're going in it, you said?
Yeah, you pointed.
Oh no, we do have to do this piece
Yeah,
of
you
absolute
pointed at
shit. They make phone call now. Sounds like a monologue. I'm not getting on top of this, it's just a waste of time. So
And now to the service lifts. And now let's carry on walking around Benidorm and along to the Strip. And this place is just so weird. This is where all of the English people come to get drunk in Benidorm. And this place is just a load of pubs all selling alcohol and loads of drunk people about. It is horrible. But as well as the drunk people and the people running the places here, there are also a load of very aggressive people walking around the streets. And these people are here to try and mug you. These people are targeting people who are completely drunk on their own and vulnerable, and they just walk up to them, snatch their bag and run away. And they do this on the basis that a person is so completely drunk they won't be able to remember what they look like. And yeah, this is very intimidating. There's police that are doing absolutely nothing to stop this, and there's loads of these aggressive people walking about. But as long as you're not drunk, they just walk past you and don't bother. At one point, one of them almost mugged Jordan. He approached Jordan to mug him, then he realised that Jordan wasn't drunk, and then he backed off. Yes, this is what it's like in Benidorm. If they think you're drunk and vulnerable and it's no one about, they'll just grab your belongings and you'll never see them again. But luckily, this is only actually limited to this very small part of Benidorm. And Jordan now explains what happened to him.
So down there was a building site what were covered by some sort of mesh where you couldn't quite see through it. And some bloke were like watered down,
inside the building site to try and get people's attention.
Inside the building site, this area were quiet. People who were on their own would stop like I did. I stopped to look through. Someone working with him behind came behind me and tried to mug me, but then I started calling Ben just before he got fully behind me. And because Ben and the other person we were with came, he sort of looked at them two and then walked around the corner as if he wasn't going to do anything.
Wow.
And that's what happens in Benidorm to drunk people.
And now go along to our hotel, or shall I say, our apartment. This apartment is really nice and it's incredibly cheap. It's really big and just a really nice place. It's just so nice. I'd actually like to live here permanently. Let's take a look around our apartment. So on the left you got the kitchen area. Then you got a main living room here across this counter from the kitchen. Then you got the bathroom. And then the main bedroom, and there is the really nice balcony with a stunning view across Benidorm. And I'm sure I also took a picture of this view in the daytime, but somehow I've lost that. But even looking at it from night, it just looks amazing with tall towers everywhere. And if we look down, there's the swimming pool at our apartments. But the entire time we were here, the swimming pool was closed. How disappointing. So then, let's now go and take a look at the lifts at our apartments, which are some Aronas. There's this really nice atrium in the middle of the apartments which looks really nice. Let's go on top these Aronas. There is a secret basement, so the only way there is to drive the lift down.
So we go from 2, yeah?
And let's take a look around the secret basement, which is this an abandoned car park, sadly.
That pit's quite deep though. No, there's inspection control.
So then, the next day, the swimming pool at our apartments is still shut, but the swimming pool at the hotel, which is part of our apartments, is open. Now, I did go in the swimming pool at one point, but I forgot to film it. It's because I left the swimming pool after only 10 minutes of going in, because it's so cold. The swimming pool is in shadow most of the time, it's not heated, and at this time of the year, still warm, but a bit colder, but just too cold for these unheated swimming pools. So let's just put a camera in and have a look at the swimming pool. So now we go along to the indoor swimming pool at our hotel. So, and this swimming pool is really nice. It's actually a heated swimming pool, but despite the fact we're staying at this hotel, they wanted to make us pay for using this indoor pool. And they do this by making everyone that uses the pool have a swimming cap, and then they obviously overcharge you for the swimming caps. This is ridiculous. But nevertheless, we had a good half hour in this pool until we were chucked out by someone who looked like a policeman who was actually only security. And now get on a tram along back into Alicante. Before we go into Alicante itself, we stop off an expats estate on the edge of Alicante. And this estate is pretty much full of posh people, people with lots of money, people who have used to live in England, have moved to Spain, or a lot of them, according to my mum, are actually criminals who are living in Spain to try and hide from the authorities. And there's a lot of swimming pools which I see from Google Maps, but we weren't able to sneak into any of them because of how secure they are, despite the fact most of Spain is very insecure. But we did manage to find one swimming pool, as one of the apartments here wasn't quite as posh as the others. It was in fact very run down. Just take a look at the swimming pool here. Look how run down and awful it is. The pumps are still going, but there isn't enough water in the pool. There's leaves everywhere in it. The pump seems to completely clogged, and the swimming pool doesn't look like it's fit for someone to go in it. What a shit swimming pool. This place is obviously a place where I've showed nice pictures of swimming pools to persuade English people to move to Spain. And then once people moved here, the building owners pretty much sodded off and let the place disintegrate. So then, back along to Alicante Airport, and our plane is late. And we got a bit crazy waiting around in the airport for hours.
Final boarding call for EasyJet Airlines. Flight XZ0248 to Amsterdam.
The lift shaft goes all the way down, but there's a buffer to stop the lift actually travelling down there. Everyone, people arriving. We should depart.
It sounds a bit like DLR chain, but it's with pitch change.